see, the Chinese had been quite clever after 1978, the reform of 78, that they needed to have inputs of technology and science, that they needed to up the productive forces in China. They were quite clear about this. So to do that, you needed investment of a high kind, certainly, and you also needed some science and tech inputs. And they saw that both Russia, the Soviet Union, and the West were advanced in tech. So what the Chinese did intelligently, and when you compare it, China with India, you see how India faltered, whereas China was very clever. What the Chinese did was they said, you can come in, here's a free trade zone, our workers are better fed, they are better educated, they have more stamina, they get sick less than workers in any other part of the third world because of the Mao era reforms. Because the Mao era reforms have produced a very good workforce. You can come in and build your factories, that's acceptable. You will, of course, it's capitalism, you will exploit our labor. But then they said something intelligent, and this is what lefties don't pick up on. They said, okay, you can do this, that's fine. But here's what's written in the agreement. You have to tell us what the science is behind your factory, and you have to tell us what the tech is. And this is important, why they had science. You see, technology is yesterday's science, but science is tomorrow's technology. And that's what the Chinese did, so that by the time of the 1990s and certainly into the 2000s, in several areas, China started to make its own scientific and technological breakthroughs. So that by the time Obama comes along, it becomes clear to US tech companies that China is far ahead in robotics, in so-called green technology, and eventually in telecommunications, in 5G and so on. China is way ahead. This is what they mean when they say that it's capable of combining its economic, diplomatic, military, and technological power to mount a sustained challenge. Let's leave out their own sentence and add in to the United States and to Silicon Valley. Evidence for this. During Trump's entire trade war, not one Silicon Valley executive came out and said we oppose the trade war. In fact, Tim Cook, head of Apple, went to meet Trump, and all he said to Trump was that the trade war unfairly advantages Samsung because the South Koreans can take advantage. You see, Silicon Valley was willing to take a short-term hit if they had a long-term victory. They want to see Chinese tech developments broken. See, that's what this trade war was about. It's to get China to surrender its advances, technological advances, some 1 or 2 generations ahead of the United States. And here comes imperialism.